Celtics? Who are we the Celtics? Who are we the Celtics?
All right, Celtics fans, we are back with another episode of Boston Celtics Game Day Recap. I'm your host, Guy DiPlacido, and the Celtics fall to the Milwaukee Bucks, 131-125 in overtime. This was one of the few games that the Celtics lost that I'm going to sit here and talk very highly of them. I'm not going to sit here and bash the Celtics whatsoever in this one. I'm still going to follow the podcast, same as usual. I'll run through player of the game, run through some of the highs, some of the lows. There really aren't a ton of lows. And I want to get things started here and give player of the game to Derek White once again. This is a really, really strong performance from Derek White. 27 points, 12 assists in this one, 3 steals. Overall was just hitting shot after shot. This guy absolutely led this team through the majority of today's game. Played a really strong game through and through. In as far as losses go, Sean Coates says it best. Amazing loss, right? Like, this is a really, really good game. And honestly, it stems Derek White. You know, obviously, we're playing, this is the front end of a back-to-back. We played with no Jason Tatum, no Jaylen Brown, no Marcus Smart, no Al Horford, right? 4 stars, Robert Williams, 13 minutes. So basically, take him out as well. We played this game without basically our entire starting lineup, right? And Derek White went out there and was an absolute beast. Absolute beast. Really solid night from him overall. But honestly, like, we got big contributions from everybody up and down the lineup. I'll run through the starting lineup here. Blake Griffin, Grant Williams, Sam Hauser, Mike Muscala, Derek White. That was our starting 5. Van Gundy talked about it in the actual broadcast today too. This is a starting lineup the Celtics will probably never see ever again, right? And they took the Milwaukee Bucks, who were on a 10-game win streak prior to today's game, and we took them into overtime and barely lost. And a couple calls that went different ways, a missed shot from Drew Holiday at the end of the third. Like, he had a 3-quarter court buzzer beater to end the third quarter. So a couple plays, and this game is shifted completely on the Celtics side. So really, there is nothing to complain about in this game whatsoever. Derek White played a hell of a game. Past that, you've got Malcolm Brogdon. He played a really solid game overall as well. The shooting still kind of struggled. He missed a couple big layups, honestly. A couple shots very, very easy at the rim. But we had 5 guys that really showed up and just showed out. 5 guys, 15-plus points, 6 guys in double digits. Grant was that 6th guy that was right in the middle there, 12. But honestly, like, through and through, great game. Outside of, Derek White, Malcolm Brogdon, everybody in the starting lineup really stepped up. And I want to talk about Mike Muscala a little bit here. End of the game, with 18 points, 8 rebounds on 7 of 16 from the field, 3 of 10 from 3. Mike Muscala at halftime, or at the end of the third, had 18. So fourth quarter and overtime, missed a couple shots, really struggled in the fourth quarter and overtime, airballed one, didn't look good. All right. Defensively, again, still coming back to it. Hasn't really had much time to get used to this lineup, especially with all of the injuries that have been happening. But he played 44 minutes in this one. So whether or not you want to give him credit, I think he deserves it. Right? 18 points, 8 rebounds, a steal. Overall, played really well. Right? So that is a solid game for Mike Muscala as well. One of the stories is Sam Hauser, right? We've talked about him being back. 15 points in this one, 9 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 offensive rebounds for Sam Hauser. And one of the biggest shots that we have seen, not just in this game, but like this year. Sam Hauser with Middleton in his face, down 3, hits a massive 35-foot 3 right in front of Middleton's face. and forced overtime, essentially, with 3 seconds left. So Sam Hauser played a hell of a game, struggled at times, wasn't really searching for a shot as much as we had seen him lately, but hit them when it counted. So really solid overall from him as well. Grant Williams did have a really good game. He did throw the ball away, and that really hurt the Celtics at the very end of the game. But Grant Williams, you can't sit here and tell me that he doesn't deserve playing time. Like, he played 48 minutes today. He played a ton of minutes, but he was also a +9. And we lost by 6. He played almost every minute of the entire game and was a +9. Now, you can point to his turnover at the end of the game, or you can look at the whole game and kind of encapsulate his performance. He had 12 points, 10 rebounds, 2 of which were offensive, 4 assists, a steal, and bodied Giannis over and over. Like, he played outstanding defense this entire game. So I don't care. I mean, obviously, you don't want to see him turn the ball over right before the game is ending. However, that's not the only reason that we lost this game, and I'm going to talk about that. That section will be short, but Grant Williams overall in this one played really well. So did Blake Griffin. You know, our 2 starting bigs. Actually, I guess if you look at it, Grant Williams probably started at the 3 if you're going by that math here, but Blake Griffin in this one, 15 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists, a steal, a block. He took a huge charge on Brook Lopez for his 3rd foul. Kind of kept Brook Lopez in foul trouble all night long. Blake Griffin, huge energy minutes. He actually led the team, +15 in this one. Played 24 minutes, +15 while he was out there. Like, we had everybody step up and play huge minutes in a game where we had really no options out there. Like, when you're down an entire starting lineup and you're forced to play with your bench the entire time, and you come out and you take the Milwaukee Bucks, who second best team in the NBA behind the Celtics record-wise, you take them to overtime, that's an unbelievable win. And this is a Milwaukee Bucks team that is healthy. They had Middleton, they had Giannis, they had Holiday, right? Those are the 3 best players. We had 0 of our top 3-4 players, right? We're missing our entire starting lineup, and we managed to get this one close, right? This was a game where everybody was kind of just writing this off as a scheduled loss. And this bench proved why we are the deepest team in the NBA. So as bad as it sucks to lose, you got to be proud as hell of these guys for going out there and battling all night long. So overall, solid game. I do want to talk about some of the negatives. This section is going to be short, right? Overall, I thought the Celtics did a pretty good job of game planning. They doubled Giannis at times. They sent him to the free throw line a bunch. He missed a ton of them. He was 11 of 19. He hit a bunch at the end. So give credit where credit's due. He played well down the stretch, but he was 11 of 19 from the field. I thought defensively we played him really well. We doubled them. We forced other guys to hit shots. And, you know, frankly, they didn't really hit a ton of shots. Drew Holiday went off, played really well. But outside of that, you look, Brook Lopez, 4 points, only played 25 minutes because we got him in foul trouble. Pat Connaughton, guy that kills the Celtics, 35 minutes, 5 points, held him down. Grayson Allen only had 13. All right, you look like there's really nobody else. Joe Ingles, even 31 minutes, 8 points. Like, not like we held the other guys in check. It was really just Drew Holiday. And when you're missing your, all NBA, your defensive player of the year, Marcus Smart, you can expect a point guard to go off. And that's not even throwing shade at Derek White or Malcolm Brogdon, because I think overall defensively, they both played great in this one. But that's what's going to happen, right? You're missing a big part of your defense. Whether or not you want to say Robert Williams played, he didn't really play that much. He played 13 minutes in this one. So the Celtics did the large majority of this game down an entire starting lineup. And we managed to play a really solid overall game. Took 53s in this one, 53s out of 99 shots. They're falling at the same clip that we saw last game, 34% in this one. But overall, I mean, listen, this is what kept the Celtics in the game. When you're down all of the playmakers that we have, there's only so many guys that can create their own shot. And I think Derek White, Malcolm Brogdon, honestly, Blake Griffin, Grant Williams, those guys did a really good job of keeping the ball moving. And if you find guys for open threes, you're going to take the open threes. Credit Mike Muscala for that. Like, he continued to take them. He didn't hit them at the same rate that he has over the last 3 games, or the last 2 games, I guess, but he was taking them because they're good shots. And those are the shots that you want them taking, right? So any other night, this might be different if you have someone else that's going out there and creating shots, but you didn't really have that. So I do want to dive into some of the negatives. Again, I'm going to keep that section super short because this is a very good game overall for this Celtics team. Before we dive into some of the negatives, though, I want to take a quick break for a word from our sponsors. This podcast is brought to you by Hopewell Hemp Farms. Hopewell Hemp Farms is your only source for the highest quality American-grown hemp products. If you're like me and love to be active, whether that's playing in an adult softball or basketball league, or your level of activity is limited to yard work, one thing is for certain. As you get older, joints start to hurt. Well, I turn to Hopewell Hemp Farms Body Butter to relax those joints and their amazing tinctures to help me fall asleep. Check them out at hopewellhempfarms.com today and stock your nightstand the only way I know how. Looking for an agent to help you buy or sell real estate? George Dimas at PD Properties is the agent for you. Sell now for a flat 3% commission on the sales price. PD Properties utilizes the most current marketing techniques and strive to put more money in your pocket. If you're looking to buy, call now and George will be with you every step of the way until you find a property you're able to call home. Serving the North Shore and beyond, call George Dimas with PD Properties today at 781-913-2290. That's 781-913-2290. NBA fans, it's time to bring the hoops action to the palm of your hand with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. This week, new customers can bet $5 and win $200 in bonus bets instantly. Plus, for a limited time, all new and existing customers can get a no-sweat same-game parlay every day. Go to the DraftKings Sportsbook app today, opt in, and place a same-game parlay on any NBA game, and if it doesn't hit, you'll get a bonus back. Download the app now and sign up with code TBPN. New customers can bet $5 on the NBA and get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Only at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA, with code TBPN. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details. All right, so I want to talk through some of the negatives here. I obviously talked about Grant's turnover at the end here. But I want to highlight one other thing. And the reason I don't blame Grant, or the reason that I'm not getting super mad at Grant about turning the ball over at the end, is the fact that I don't think he should have even had the ball at that point. As soon as Holiday hits that 3, hits that shot, we should have called the timeout, right? 17 seconds left, call the timeout, advance the ball, and then draw up a play. Right at that point, the Celtics were in a position where, Drew Holiday was picking up Derek White full court, making him turn, taking time off the clock. And then even after we switched off of a screen, we still got trapped. So at that point, the Celtics wasted so much time just doing nothing, frankly. And as soon as it got tough, and as soon as Joe Mazzulla sees Grant get doubled, call a timeout. Like, if you didn't call it as soon as Holiday hits the shot anyway, call the timeout then, right? And that was one of the things that hurt me in this game, is this was still winnable despite being down all of these guys. Like, we had a 14-point lead in this one, and we watched a lot of it kind of disappear in the second half. Frankly, it was turnovers were a killer too. In this game, we had 13. You look at those numbers, that's fantastic. However, we had 2 in the first half, meaning 11 in the second. That's not good. All right, the Celtics had themselves a 14-point lead because we were hitting shots, we were driving, we were getting to the rim, and honestly, like we just weren't turning the ball over. And the Bucks turned the ball over a ton. We scored 27 points off of their 19 turnovers. So this is a game where it was 100% within our reach, and we just turned the ball over or didn't really call a timely timeout. All right, that's what this game kind of boils down to. It sucks. That's the truth, right? At the end of the day, this is one of those games where you are absolutely not upset. And if you are, like, you need to stop looking at a box score and actually look at what happened in this game, because this was as impressive a loss as I have ever seen. This is a Bucks team that was absolutely rolling. Like I said earlier, they have won 11 straight games after today's win, and they were healthy. And we took them to OT, showing the rest of the NBA that this team is so freaking deep. And we've done it over and over. Like, we won 4 straight games before this, and we were shorthanded in every single one of them. And this is, again, the front end of a back-to-back. So hopefully Jason Tatum's non-COVID illness isn't a real illness, and he comes back. It was also reported that Marcus Smart might return for the Pistons game tomorrow. I hope not. Honestly, at this point, rest him. Why not give him another week to recover with the All-Star break? A lot of people might look at the standings and be like, oh, well, the Pistons game, if we lose, like Milwaukee, what might take the lead in the Eastern Conference. Doesn't matter. There's still so much time left in the season. You want to stay healthy. And if sitting Marcus Smart one game gets him an additional 7 days rest, why not just do it? Be careful with it. At this point, Celtics are 41-17, have a half-game lead over Milwaukee. We both have 17 losses. We just edged them out with 1 extra win at this point. So we have the best record in the NBA still to this day, going in 1 game left for the All-Star break. So at this point, you got to be pretty happy with where we are. We made 1 trade deadline acquisition and Mike Muscala. He's panned out perfectly so far. Like, he's had, in 3 games, he's had more points than almost double the amount of points that Justin Jackson has in the first 35 games, 40 games, 50 games, right? Great pickup, right? Adds to the depth. Like, you're seeing a guy, we traded Justin Jackson, a guy that's played, 2 minutes a game, if that. Obviously, he missed a bunch of games. He didn't play in half of the games anyway. He gets in garbage time. Mike Muscala is coming in and giving us actual minutes. So the fact that the already deepest team in the NBA got deeper is super impressive. And that's the takeaway that you got to take after today's game and just in general after this trade deadline going into the All-Star break. Overall, solid game for the Celtics. Tough to see him walk away with the L, but you got to be happy based on all of it. So that's where we're going to wrap things up for today. Solid overall effort from the Celtics. Couldn't pull it off. If you haven't done so already, guys, make sure to follow me on Twitter at NBA Celtics Guy. Follow our YouTube page, Boston Celtics Game Day Recap, and our Facebook page, Boston Celtics Till I Die. Have a great night, Celtics fans. We'll talk soon.
Yeah, you couldn't help it. I know you felt it. Green and white and green. Who are we, the Celtics? Who are we, the Celtics?